Not enough people know this, but you can actually take months off work for mental health and still get paid. I did it for almost 4 months to recover my physical and mental health from work burnout, and I was surprised at how my privacy was protected through the whole process. If you're looking into paid leave in the US, this might help. This was my personal experience, so it might not be exactly the same for you, but I hope watching this makes you feel like it's more possible. Today I'm sharing how it worked, what I learned, and why more people should know about this option. At the time, I'd been working in finance on the tech side for about 4 years. The burnout hit hard, but quitting wasn't an option. I still needed the paycheck, the benefits, so I went to my primary care doctor and talked honestly about my symptoms. In that same appointment, he wrote me a letter to excuse me from working for 6 weeks. That appointment ended up starting the whole leave process. My company used an external vendor to manage leaves, and that vendor handles everything, all of the paperwork. So your boss doesn't even know why you're taking leave, and they don't have to. Frankly, it's none of their business. Once I submitted my documentation, I was qualified for FMLA, which is Family and Medical Leave Act, and short-term disability. Quick heads up, short-term disability is often insurance that you opted into when you joined the company. Double check your own paperwork to confirm. This combo protected my income while I was recovering, and this is the same process that someone would use whether it's for a surgery, pregnancy, or your mental health. So if you want to keep it low-key, ask about what the process is in general to recover from something like a surgery. I've seen articles and blog posts talking about how medical leave is quite common. I just really didn't believe it was possible until I went through the whole process myself. People often worry about backlash, judgment, or even doubt that they are unwell enough to use this benefit that they're paying for. But I want to say it's okay to talk about this stuff. We pay for this because it's insurance for us. Most of us have opted into this insurance. There's no reason not to use this benefit that we are contributing to if we need it. Some of the most successful people I know have taken time off for their mental health, and that's how I even knew it was an option in the first place. What's important is to use this time to actually recover. Some people use this time to travel, job hunt, or just rest. Whatever you choose, it's valid. For me, this was time to reflect and recover. I still got a paycheck during this time, I had health insurance, I got to see doctors, and I got to focus on my recovery. Not everyone in your personal life will get it, but your true friends will be on your side. For the people who didn't get it, I didn't talk about it with them. There's a lot of other things you can talk about that has nothing to do with work. There were consequences. For example, employees get bonuses every year. I thought that I would get my bonus prorated because I had worked for most of the year up until my medical leave, but actually I got zeroed, which meant my boss gave me no bonus that year, which is usually a signal they want me to leave. Even with the zero, I was still able to transfer internally to another team. It didn't affect how other teams saw me because the company I worked at was big enough where it didn't matter. My boss could only share that I would be gone for a certain period of time, and that was it. I would have transferred to the other team if I hadn't gotten a better offer from a startup, which paid more. So I ended up leaving that company. But working at a big company really helped with making it an option to transfer. The biggest lesson is that burnout is like a dislocated shoulder. You want to avoid it happening in the first place, but if it does happen, it may mean that you're more prone to having it dislocate again. That's why it's not just about taking time off, but redesigning your life to avoid hitting that same breaking point again. For example, when I moved to the new startup in London, I ended up taking another medical leave after 1.5 years because that startup was burning me out too. I know a lot of people are afraid of layoffs right now, but legally you can't be laid off just for taking leave. If you're experiencing burnout, you should know this exists. Here's the thing, I almost gave up when my first therapist told me his office just doesn't fill out paperwork for clients. I remember thinking, I guess I won't do it. But then I found out my PCP, primary care physician, could do the same thing. My PCP gave me the initial note and also referred me to a new therapist who was supportive, and she ended up giving me 2 extensions, which is how I went from 6 weeks all the way to 4 months. She made sure I didn't go back too early. My therapist made sure that I eased back into work, starting with half days before going back to full days. I don't know what my coworkers thought of me, but that distance they kept from me actually gave me the space I needed to look for another job. It was important not to go back to the same environment. The environment hadn't changed, and the environment was what had burned me out in the first place. If you're burned out right now, I hope this gives you the permission you need. You have more options than you think. If this was helpful, leave a like, and if I've missed anything, leave a comment below. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.